Hi everyone, so in this video we will be seeing how to do a put request with the help of Axios in React. So we will be using JSON placeholder typecode API, which is a free fake API. I'll paste the link in the description below so you can go ahead and use it for your practice. So we'll be seeing how we will be doing a put request. So put request is basically to update whatever you have already in the database. So we have already seen the get requests and the post requests in the previous video. So get is when you want to get data from the API, whatever you have in the database. Post is when you want to add something into the database. And now we will be doing the put request, which is what we will be doing when we want to update something which is already in the database. So let's go on ahead and do this. In the VS Code, I have already imported Axios from Axios. So first you need to install Axios in our project. You can do that by using the command npm install Axios. I have already installed in my package.json. You can see there is already Axios installed. So after doing npm install Axios, you have to import it at the top of your file wherever you are using Axios to call the APIs. So let's go on ahead and see how to do the put call. So put is basically we are updating something in our database. We are updating something that is already present in our database. So if we go to our JSON placeholder API, you can see, so this is how they have done a get call, and if we run the script, we will be seeing that they have got user ID, title and completed. So we'll be updating, so you can update few of the things or you can update all of the things. So here you can see that they have got ID 1, and while we are doing a get request and we give this ID as 1, we will be getting this whole object. So ID1 has all of this information. Now if we want to do a post request, we don't have to give the ID1 because we are inserting something into the database. So what ID that will actually be taking? It will actually be taking the ID after the last ID that would have been generated. For example, there were already like 200 posts. So the ID that would be generated is something like 201 if we are doing a post request to this. But as we are doing a put request, so out of all of these requests, for example, if you want to modify this first ID, it would change on the title of the first ID, the title of the user ID, or the completed of the first ID. Now if you want to change something like maybe of ID 15 or something like that, then it will change the data of that particular ID. So we need to mention the ID here. In your case, it may be something else which is unique, and we need to call that, and we need to change the thing that we need to change in our database. So yeah, let's go on ahead and see how we can do that. So I'm in the VS Code right now. We will be seeing two ways of how to do it. One is through promise chaining, another one is through async-await. So let me first walk you through promise chaining. So in here, I'll be doing const posts and set posts, and I'll be using useState hook to set our post data. So after this, what we will be doing is we will be calling our API inside the use effect. So there is actually many methods that you can call the API. So inside the use effect, if I am calling the API, that means that the API will be getting called on the initial load of the page, as there is an empty dependency array. So in this you can directly call the API, or you can write a function, and using that function you can call the API. So I am writing a function. So the advantage of writing a function is you can also use that function for some button click or something like that. You can use the function in some button click, and on some button click you will be calling the API. So after this, what we have to do is we have to write the function. So this will be const and then put data. So inside this we will be doing our API call. So it would be basically axios.put, and we will go to our API and we would be doing this. So if you see, the first one's title is something like Delectus Autumn. So let's try to modify that. So we will be modifying the first API, like the first data in our database. So after this, inside the body, so you have to put a comma, and you can write whatever you want to inside the body. So we will be modifying the user ID to 5, and now let's modify the title to something like JJK, and let's modify the completed to true. So yeah, that would be pretty much it. And after this, what we got to do is we'd be chaining it. So in this, we would be getting our response, and let's see what we are getting in the response. And let's also set it to response dot data, because in our response in the data we would be getting the post details. And finally we can do dot catch to catch the error. Yeah, so this would be pretty much it. Let me just in a return, let's just show the title maybe. So yeah, let's see if this works. Let me go to browser, and yeah, you can see that the JJK is coming, and you can see the user ID has been modified to 5. The title has been JJK, which was previously some Deluctus something, and the completed has been modified to true. So this is how you can modify data in your database, and we have modified the ID1 details. So yeah, that would be pretty much it. Now let's move on to see how we can do the async-await method. In the async-await method, what we got to do is we have to declare our function as asynchronous. So let me first comment this out, declare our function as asynchronous, and after that we would be using our try and catch block. So inside the try block we would be calling our API, and then in our catch block we would be catching our error. So you can do console.log error, and inside the try block let's get our API response. So I would be doing const response, and in here we would be waiting for our API call to get finished. Like whenever you would be needing something like some piece of code to be executed after your API call has been finished, then you can use this method, that is async-await. It will wait till your API call is finished and you are getting the data from the API, and after that only it will move on to the other piece of code. So we have done Axios dot put. Let me paste our URL here, and after this inside the body, let me paste the body, uncomment this, and let's change certain information, so make it like 55 or something, and this is one piece, and completed status is false. So that would be pretty much it. Now let's use our response. So we will be doing set posts. There I can do response.data. So in the data we would be having the uh, posts object. So we can also do console.log response, so we can see what we are getting the response as. So that would be pretty much it. Let's move on to our browser and see if this is working. So you can see that it is working fine. And let's see our data. So this one is the latest. As you can see, the user ID has been modified, title has been modified, completed has been modified. So yeah, that would be pretty much it. If you want to see how the errors look like, uh, let me just show you. If I mess with the API and see, you can see that the Axios is giving a nice error, like it is mentioning what kind of error is this. It is network error, and it gives you enough kind of like information that you can debug this. So yeah, that would be pretty much it for the put or update in the database with the help of Axios in ReactJS. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.